Hello and welcome to One More for the Road, a podcast of reviews, retrospectives, and many other media related topics. My name is Felix, and with me is my partner, Ariopolis.
Yo!
And today we are doing something a little bit different from our usual talk. We're actually going to be creating a list because Nintendo, of course, is a very, very interesting company to talk about. And with the Switch maybe reaching the end of its lifespan, we're kind of curious if there will be a GameCube Virtual Console, and when, or if there will be, what games might they put onto it? So we created a little top five list for you with some bonus ones at towards the end, and we're gonna share those with you today.
I'm I'm
Ariopolis,
I'm
yeah.
very excited. I'm sorry. I'm very
Hey, no,
excited. So,
likewise.
yes, and those at home, please understand. This is slightly different from our usual stuff. If you're coming to this and this is your first introduction to our show right here, it's more of a usual podcasty type thing. So,
Hmm.
if you like hearing our voices and you want to hear us rambling, by all means, check out our other episodes. We probably have something that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Um, or go check out our Twitch channels, which all the links are in the doobly doo.
Yes. Speaking of our usual podcast, we actually just recently released the Legend of Zelda episode. So I know many of you coming into this are probably excited for Tears of the Kingdom, and we talk about things that are Tears of the Kingdom related, as well as the general Zelda series. Totally go check it out.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. All right, I'm super excited though.
Yeah. Yo, what do we got on the list? Give us your first pick out of the five.
My first pick. All right, so my first game, and the game that is also one of the first ones on the GameCube, Luigi's Mansion. Uh, Luigi's Mansion is one of those kinds of games that I don't think I've played anything else like it other than other Luigi's Mansion games. Like, I guess you could kind of think of it as a semi Metroidvania type thing, but maybe almost like a Resident Evil 2 would be closer.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of like dungeon crawler-y, right? If you really break it down.
Yeah, like I'm just sitting here like cuz you don't really get upgrades other than
Hmm.
just number upgrades. Or like maybe there's a few small things, but I think the Poltergust really does like have all of its abilities
Hmm.
mostly
Yeah, the
right
only
out the
upgrades you
gate.
really get, yeah, like the only upgrades you really get are like the elemental medallions or whatever.
Hmm.
And that's kind of it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, like which I don't even think you need the elemental medallions to finish the game.
That is true. Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
actually struggling to remember, but like I love Luigi's Mansion. I've done, low percents, I've done full clears. I have tried to do like max like high score runs on it.
Mhm.
I've probably beaten that game like a dozen times.
Oh,
Uh
that, yeah.
for those of you who don't know, you play as Luigi. You go through and he has a mansion and it's full of ghosts and he gets a little vacuum cleaner to suck them all up, and he's got to rescue Mario, who's been trapped by Bowser. I mean, King Boo, who's dressed as Bowser. It's basically the opposite of the new Mario movie plot.
Honestly, yeah, that's true.
Like, like actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like literally the opposite.
Oh,
I also
yeah.
love how they kind of like have a nod to it in the movie,
Yeah, it's
because
so good.
oh god, go watch the Mario movie. It's good. Watch it a second time if you've already done it. I don't care. I'm not your mom. But yeah, like I think like if any one game is gonna be on the virtual console, I feel like that's like gonna be one of the first ones.
Yeah, it's a must. Literally, as you said, it's in the starting lineup for when the GameCube launched.
Alright, what do we got for the next game though?
Game number two. I'm coming out the gate with a hard hitter, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Um, for those of you who haven't played that game, and I actually know of quite a few people who have not to this day, this game, in my opinion, is the greatest Paper Mario game out there. It picks up right out like the kind of off the heels of the first Paper Mario on the N64, which is available on the Switch already, and it very quickly like reintroduces all of the the same features. Well, of course, explaining new ones. The story at times I feel got a little more serious in places. Like literally, there are like murder mysteries and like a bunch of things surrounding identity theft. For those who know, and it was one of the most like chilling experiences I really had when I was really young playing through an RPG of any kind. And to this day, it remains a very, very soft spot in my heart just for all of the things it did. I do believe that it's also the first time that you get to play as Princess Peach outside of like a sports game. And her little segments are pretty good. Yeah. Her segments are pretty good. You also get to play as Bowser in a few sections of the game. The dialogue is, consistent with the rest of the Paper Mario games and it being very like humorous, but of course to the point in places. Really, really good.
Wow, yeah, there's a lot of that game that I forgot was like
part of that game. Do you remember the Glitz Pit?
Yo!
Yeah, that's my favorite
what's his
part.
name? The Rock?
Yes, the Rock Hawk.
The Rock Hawk, dude, what a legend. What a showman.
That is my favorite chapter in the game, honestly.
Oh my god, I completely forgot that whole thing existed. No, that's probably legit one of the best like RPG tournament arcs of all time.
It is. It really is. Oh gosh. Look, Nintendo, whenever we get the like GameCube anything, please make sure that Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door is on there. And actually, speaking of that, I've actually heard rumors, little whispers going around that there might actually be a port for it coming to the Switch, but we'll see.
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I love that game.
It's so good. I need it. I would voice over that entire game. I have my Rock Hawk impression ready. Okay?
Hold on. I need it. I need to hear it. Hit me with it.
I gotta hold on. Let me go find a Rock Hawk line real quick.
You can't rock without the hawk. I don't know.
Okay.
You could just make one up.
Here we go. I'm terrible at improvising. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here we go. Rock out, Great Gonzalez. Rock! Listen to me, Gonzalez. Anyone who beat me is not allowed to lose. That's how I'd go in.
I'm in actual awe.
Yeah, I've been practicing that one.
I'm very happy. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
It's amazing. 10 out of 10. No notes.
What do we have for our third game?
All right. I have to start this by saying that this is not necessarily my favorite game of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But it is the game that I have by far the most hours in out of any other video game.
Mm-hmm.
Total. Any other franchise, it doesn't matter. And that's Animal Crossing for the GameCube, the North American version. I played this game every single day for 5 years.
Dang.
And like I could probably draw right now from memory my Old Town map, like most of the residence locations I could probably get, and who they were.
Nice.
I have no idea what I know what my basement looked like, but the rest of the house is a mystery to me. But like I loved Animal Crossing. Well, my basement was dope because I had the town model all set up. And then I used lockers as the like cliffs on the side.
Right. Oh, that's cool.
And that also was like my long-term storage solution. Was
you gotta
like
recreate that.
Oh, dude, I have I have the memory card.
Oh, okay.
I actually have a physical memory card that has the town on it. Hopefully, I don't know if the battery's still alive.
Right.
But like, if that memory card still works, that town's still there.
That's cool.
Yeah, like,
Oh, I love that.
yeah. But no, I loved that game. Like, you had the NES consoles, which never made a return to the rest of the series. You had the monthly lottery day. Like at the last day every month was Lotto Day, and you turned in your tickets for fabulous prizes. Multiplayer was still pretty rudimentary at the time.
Yeah, there was like the bouncing between memory cards, right?
Yeah, you could like visit your friend's world, but I think you could. I don't know if you could both play at the same time.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Was there even an island thing?
No.
Was Cap? I don't think Captain was in that game.
No. Well, Captain was in the game, but I think he was just sort of there to talk to, and maybe you could get items from him or something like that. It was a very, very small interaction, but I know he's been there since day one. Yeah. Yeah, but I might be wrong, but I think literally the extent of the multiplayer, well, quote unquote multiplayer, was just traveling between memory cards and then like interacting with your friend's town. And I guess they would just have to watch you do it. Like,
I feel like that's correct. Actually, it's really funny because the one person, because I had this game in high school when it came out, the one other person I knew of that played Animal Crossing, we both named our towns after the city we lived in, and both of our names were Eric.
Oh my gosh.
And so we couldn't send mail to each other.
No way.
Yeah, like we couldn't do, there was a lot of stuff we couldn't do.
Oh my gosh.
Which was very funny. It was very, very funny.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was real interesting. And then like the thing that I thought was really cool was like you could get codes for furniture. So there's like a Super Mario Bros. Furniture set, a few exclusive NES titles, and the codes came in Nintendo Power Magazine. Yeah, I'm dating myself really hard with my Nintendo Power Magazine subscription. Do kids know what magazines are?
I hope so.
Like, does Game Informer magazine still
It does still exist, yes.
Oh man, I really want to buy the current issue of that magazine. But yeah, Animal Crossing is just one of, like, I love that game. And it's the best.
It's my favorite Animal Crossing to this day. My favorite part, honestly, was pretty much all of the dialogue. Like, the villagers weren't afraid to roast you. Everybody was, I don't know, they felt a little bit more like I guess all realized characters, because I know, like, you know, there are the personality types and whatever, right? But even within those, I felt like even if you had two villagers that were the same type, their dialogue was still pretty varied, to be honest.
I think that there were like sub personalities within a personality set.
That makes sense.
Or like it might be swapped. It might be like split up by species. I'm not sure.
There's a chance of that too.
But here's the thing that's wild about that is in New Horizons, a lot of people are like, oh, the dialogue's not as deep. And I think one of the problems was they have most villagers, their dialogue, they have like introduction dialogue. So they're like, oh, hey, good morning or good afternoon or whatever. And so like their first dialogue or their first two dialogues there's a pretty small pool of them.
Yeah.
But after that, that's when the like dialogue trees start like opening up, and they're like, oh, well they start talking about other things.
Right. Yeah.
And because, you know, and like I'm guilty of this too. Like most people don't talk to villagers.
That's true.
More than like once or twice.
Yeah, that is very true.
I didn't know that for like a year, but that's enough about Animal Crossing. What is What is the next game, Felix?
Game number 4 is another heavy hitter. I'm not gonna lie to you, but Kirby Air Ride needs to be on this virtual console. Okay.
I would do terrible things for Kirby Air Ride. Like, I like the games on my list. I like the
Yep.
games that I'm bringing to the list. But
Yeah.
Kirby Air Ride, if it had like online multiplayer,
Exactly. Exactly. And that's very doable with the way the Switch is now and how they've been doing the virtual consoles. It's like all these games that used to need somebody right beside you, you can now play online. And Kirby Air Ride online would go crazy.
dude, that might be like a Smash Ultimate level big.
Yeah, honestly. Gosh, all you need to say is the word or words "city trial" to somebody, and that's
Dude.
it. That's it. That's all you have
Hands
to
have
say.
been thrown.
Yeah.
I have physically punched someone over City Trial. Like, I am not. I'm not ashamed of this. Granted, I was like a teenager.
Yeah.
But like I have gotten into altercations multiple times. Shout outs to my friend Spencer, who, after all these years, still will not let me forget that
I love
time that we beat the hell out of each other over a game of Kirby Air Ride.
I love that.
He actually brought that up. I was talking to him a couple months ago for Christmas, and he's like, "Dude, man, man, we gotta bust out the air ride, man. I gotta city trial you."
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Wow.
like, oh, dude, friendships are forged in that game and tested.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. My cousin and I, we used to team up against NPCs in City Trial, so that was always
Nice.
fun. And then like it would kind of go to chaos whenever we ever happened to find like a piece of the like legendary air rides.
Mhm.
It would immediately switch up the game and be like, oh, that's it. Play. We gotta see who gets which one. And that was always fun. And as a little like random fun fact, did you know that this was Masahiro Sakurai's last Kirby game that he worked on?
I did know that actually, and
Hey.
I only know that because he has like a whole YouTube channel
It's true.
that he's doing right now that people should definitely check out. And it's all about game design, and he does like the history of like games he's worked on.
It's so good.
It's
so good.
It's bonkers, dude. The man is making some of the best video game dev content on the platform. And
Yeah.
we don't deserve him.
We don't. We do not.
We don't, but we have him, and I'm happy about it.
Heck yeah. What's the next game on our list?
All right. The fifth game of our top 5, and it is certainly not the least. It is, and I say this without reservation, the greatest RPG of all time, Skies of Arcadia Legends.
I know very little about Skies of Arcadia. I've watched little bits here and there, so I have like a general feel of it, or at least I think I do.
Mm-hmm.
What makes this game so great?
It is the atmosphere of the game. So Skies of Arcadia Legends follows the Blue Sky Pirates or whatever their pirate name is. It changes periodically, I think. And it follows Vice, Faye, and the spunky redhead chick whose name doesn't matter because she's just the Asuka stand-in. I'm sorry, I'm being very mean to her. I just can't remember her name, and I don't think it's Asuka. I think it's Akane.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they have an adventure as sky pirates. Fina like fell down from like a moon or something, and then like she's very cagey about it. There's an evil government you have to fight. You get to recruit people for your pirate crew, and they have like different jobs on your ship, and they make your ship better in combat.
Oh.
Like, I cannot stress this enough. You can recruit people, and if that dude's like a gunner, your guns in the combat get better abilities. The game has this constant feel of being upbeat. Like
Right.
it's like the mood of the game. Like so many RPGs at the time were like being grimdark for the sake of it, because that was, you know, in vogue at the
Right,
time.
of course.
But like this game was positive. This game was an adventure. Like I wouldn't realize this until much later, because I never got into One Piece until post-pandemic.
Right.
But it is Skies of Arcadia is the One Piece RPG that you want.
That's cool.
Like,
I love that.
I cannot stress enough. Yes, I'm aware that other RPGs exist. All right, like I'm playing through the Legend of Heroes franchise. You know, there are no good Final Fantasies other than 10. But
That's crazy. I
Dragon
hear
Quest
all of
11's good. But like,
yeah.
Skies of Arcadia Legends is the greatest RPG of all time.
Dang, I gotta give that a run through. I hope that makes it to the Virtual Console. I would love to see that.
I need to be able to spend money on that video game. Sorry.
No, you're good. Which developer made it?
I think it's a Sega game.
No way.
Yeah,
What? Okay.
it was on the Dreamcast originally. I actually don't know who the dev is.
Oh,
but like
published by Sega at
is
least.
published by Sega. Here, I can look this up.
Wow.
Overworks.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Oh, which is it's a sub section of Sega. It's literally
Okay.
like a Sega in-house title.
It's Sega. Wow.
So the game has a reactive soundtrack in combat. Where if you're doing poorly, you get like there's like a emergency version of whatever boss theme or combat theme you're in. And then if you get the boss down to a certain percentage of their HP, the like victory lap kind of music kicks in.
Oh,
And
I
the
love
victory lap version of the final boss music is the main theme of the title screen, but like with victory fanfare and a sick beat.
that. That is so cool.
And there is nothing in this world that just gives you a sense of like euphoria and like ultimate power than the main theme kicking in when you're just beating the hell out of a boss.
You're right.
It's literally
yeah.
like it was like a turn-based anime moment.
I love that. That's cool. That's really cool.
It's so good. Also, Bombardment, the main ship boss theme, is one of the best combat tracks just ever made.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. All right. I'm putting Skies of Arcadia Legends onto the list for games I need to play before it's way too late.
Yeah, so I really wanted to come on to the Virtual Console. However, all right. However, there is a YouTuber, Many a True Nerd, who every time he makes a series on a game that he says is one of the greatest games of all time, it gets a port. It gets a modern port.
Ooh.
And Skies of Arcadia is currently on his to play list. It's like the next game he's playing after whatever he's about to start.
Oh yes, let's go.
And I really want that to continue to be the trend, because like I legitimately, like, his first episode goes out and then they announce a port.
Wow.
It's happened like 4 or 5 times. It's wild.
That's amazing, actually.
But that was our top 5, but I think we have a couple honorable mentions.
Yeah, games that, of course, should totally at some point make it onto the Virtual Console, but you know, we didn't have them in our top 5 list. The first one being Viewtiful Joe. In this game, you play as Joe, and he literally is he's a regular Joe. He goes to a movie theater on a date with his girlfriend. The girlfriend is kidnapped like through the movie screen, and he dives in after her. Shortly after that, he is given his superpowers, and he's basically like like a Power Ranger, or like I believe they're called a Super Sentai type person, and he becomes Viewtiful Joe. and it's so cool. I love the the riffs on, I guess, cinema in this game, because Joe gets the ability to fast forward and slow down time, and I believe there's like a zoom ability as well. Really, really cool design. We have not seen Beautiful Joe in a long time, and I do believe this is a hidden gem at this point, anyway, of the GameCube era.
There was a sequel to that too, wasn't there?
Yes, a sequel and a spin-off, kind of like a party game.
Oh wow, I didn't know
Mhm.
that. I didn't
Yeah,
know there was a party game.
yeah.
I like Beautiful Joe. I've only
Mhm.
ever rented that game, so I don't think I've ever beaten it.
Likewise, funny enough.
That's super
Likewise.
fair. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's not a lot like it.
No.
There's the Wonderful 101, which is kind of
Yeah.
like a spiritual successor, I'd say.
Yes.
Because I think that's the same devs.
Yes.
And so if you like Wonderful 101, Beautiful Joe's gonna be right up your alley.
Yeah. See the roots of Wonderful 101. I know there are many
Mhm.
fans of that franchise.
I've got a bit of an interesting one for the next game.
Ooh. What do you got?
I got Wind Waker. And here, okay, all right. Well, listen to me. Listen, hear me out. I'm just gonna make the assumption that we're never gonna get a Wind Waker HD port, and so I want them to put the OG GameCube Wind Waker on the Virtual Console because the kids need to know
Wow.
the,
Yeah.
the pain
Yeah.
of the original Triforce Hunt.
It hurt.
It's the worst. It's actually physically painful.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know, funny enough, that the original game, I guess, turned a lot of people away from it, both
Mhm.
for like art style reasons, which I found interesting to learn of later because I never really heard that argument here growing up. But definitely
Really?
that Triforce Quest. Yeah, like I know in general the people did want a grittier Zelda, I guess, which we later then got. Um, but I never really heard that complaint with Wind Waker. Yeah. Everybody
Well,
I ever spoke to about it was like, "Oh, I love the way this looks."
Well, at the time, people were really mad about it
Mhm.
because, okay, and again, this has a lot to do with the fact that magazines were the main way that we got our information. Like, we didn't have
Right.
the internet, like, very well at the
Right.
time. So, like, when when the first bit of GameCube era Zelda footage we saw was at an E3, it was like a really hyper realistic Link and Ganondorf doing a sword fight. And then the first screenshots we see of the actual first GameCube Zelda game is like Parappa the Rapper.
Right. Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah.
We're like, yo, hold up. Like, obviously, once you see it in motion, then it's a completely different story. But like,
Right.
it's that whiplash where like, oh my god, the next Zelda is gonna be so realistic. It's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be
Mhm.
dark and awesome. And like, I was still a teenager, and then suddenly, again, and I cannot stress this enough, Link looked like Parappa the Rapper. And look, Parappa the Rapper is objectively the worst rhythm game of all time, but like, the music was good.
Yeah. No, true. True.
Yeah. I have a whole thing to say about Parappa the Rapper, but like, but here's the thing, like that dichotomy is just it gave us a lot of whiplash. But like, I legitimately think like Wind Waker's, I'm pretty sure I said this in the Zelda episode. It's probably my favorite Zelda.
Yeah. Same here. It is.
I love that game.
Masterpiece.
Yeah, like I have spent so much time just wandering around the Great Sea, just hanging out with my boat and
Yeah.
and doing just nothing, just going to islands.
Yeah. Just filling out that sea chart and stuff. I
Yeah.
love it.
I love
Love
it. It's amazing. Like it's the kind of game that you can hang out in.
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
And that's and similar to Animal Crossing, that's something I really liked when I was that age. Like games
Mhm.
I can hang out in.
Did you have a specific island you hung out on the most?
That's a good question. I would probably say Windfall.
Yeah, yeah, you too. Yeah,
It has the best soundtrack.
it does. It does.
Like, because Outset, like, you have the Snot Kid, so you don't want to hang out there. Dragon Roost Island's like, all right, it the Rito were cool,
Yeah,
but like,
everybody's working.
you can't be in that soundtrack for too long.
That is fair. Yes.
Like the do do do, like I can't samba for 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right? Like I can't. I'm not that high energy. I never have been. But like, I don't know, man. Windfall just, it was good.
Yeah, Windfall felt like
It
home.
had a vibe. Yeah, it
Yeah.
felt like home. It felt like your home base, even though
Yeah.
it clearly wasn't.
Yeah, right. Oh,
It
that's
was,
cool.
it was nice and central, and I loved it. All right.
The last of our honorable mentions will actually be a title that maybe very few of you will have expected, because since we just talked about Zelda, I'm sure you're thinking maybe Twilight Princess. Personally, I'm holding out for, a port of the HD version of that game too, like with Wind Waker.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Same.
the last game in honorable mentions is Chibi-Robo. Have you played this game?
No.
This game is like a fever dream, and I feel like it would be the perfect addition for something that kind of sort of got overshadowed by of course, like, other bigger games or whatever else. I don't remember how late or early it came into the Nintendo, or sorry, the GameCube's like lifespan. But it, like, in 2 words, this game is described as like a fever dream, if you ask me. It starts out all like cute and whatever. A family buys a new little like robot to help with various like chores around the house, but he is literally like he's almost microscopic. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, this tiny little robot's gonna help us at the house. Like around the house there are little like hubs that you can deposit whatever like resources, or like I guess kind of like karma points that you accrue throughout the game, in order to then later on get upgrades, and you can explore more of the house after certain points as well. And it's very cute at first. There's a mom, a dad, there's a dog, and a little girl. And you then like end up learning that I guess aliens are coming to invade at some point, and they've already been there once before. And in the basement there's like a larger version of Chibi-Robo that existed for this family some time ago, but he's like out of power. So the game's objective kind of switches very suddenly from being just like oh, you're just running around and making sure this house is all spotless, to oh my gosh, we have to repair this like bigger version of Chibi-Robo and prevent or like save the world from an alien invasion. It's really, really wild. And there are other like various things of a variety of characters that are like, well, I think toys, to be honest. I think there are like sentient toys like in Toy Story in this story as well. And they serve as varying like obstacles or allies or whatever else. And it's a fever dream of a game, but I think perfect for the slot of like super, super niche. Maybe almost nobody's heard of it.
Have you ever played Mr. Mosquito for the PlayStation 2?
I've not played, but I know of it. I was always curious about it whenever I saw it, but I never owned a PS2.
The description you just gave me is giving me a lot of flashbacks of that, because basically you play as a mosquito.
Yeah.
And you have to suck blood out of this family. And over the levels, like, they become more aware that there's a mosquito. Like, you're supposed to be very stealthy, and like like the family has this full-blown psychosis by the end of it, where like their whole house is like lined, every wall and floor and ceiling is like lined with like bug zappers, and they have like spray cannons. It's like, it's wild, dude.
Wow.
It's the same, like, kind of like, it starts off nice and innocent, and then goes directly off the deep end. It's, look it up. It's an experience, man.
I gotta. What the heck?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing that happened. It's very insane. But like so like that's, but like honestly, that's like a hell of a recommendation, because like I loved that game. So like if
Yeah.
Chibi-Robo is giving me those same kind of vibes, that's something I want to definitely see on the Virtual Console.
Oh yeah, it's interesting, and I remember there being this mechanic as well to sort of, I guess, prevent you from being able to clearing the game in just one like easy sitting. The game, or rather, Chibi Robo runs on a battery, and so every like step or a couple of steps you take, it ticks down. There are battery upgrades, of course, so you can do more in a single like session and whatever. And I believe there are like recharge stations as well. Um, but yeah, that is a thing in that
Hmm.
game, and so it kind of becomes a bit of a management in that aspect. Actually, I always thought that was really neat.
That is
Um,
neat.
yeah, the unfortunate bit though is that this is like the one and only game in the Chibi Robo like franchise that's really like that I recall. I know they released a game on the DS, but I don't know how that played. And then afterwards, I believe Chibi Robo games became kind of like 2D side scrollers, and like the whole like taking care of a house or cleaning up like aspect is like completely gone from it pretty much.
Oh
At least in the
wow.
same way. In the same way, yeah, it's like kind of sad because I'm pretty sure otherwise like the IP is probably considered dead. Um,
Dang.
but
I
this
knew there
the
was a
first entry,
3DS. I knew there was a
yeah,
3DS game, and the only reason I know that is because there was a one of those like street pass puzzles,
yes,
and
yes,
there was an amiibo.
yes, I got that amiibo. Yeah,
Oh yeah, it was. I saw a bunch of copies of that amiibo at like the dollar store once.
right, yep, and that
It's
just goes
not
to show.
popular.
Nope, not at all. I'm doing a small read on the side, and apparently it sold really well in Japan.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
completely unsurprised by this.
yeah, wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's kind of like how Pokemon is having this massive resurgence again over
Oh,
in it is like mostly in Japan. Like
yeah,
Pokemon's back in a big way.
that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. Wow.
But I do have one game that we absolutely cannot do this and not mention this game.
Yeah.
And I'm embarrassed that
Oh.
I didn't even think about it. But
Ooh.
the last game, the actual factual last game, Star Fox Adventures.
Oh. Oh, really?
Um, I love that game.
I understand.
Like
I'm ooh, okay, okay.
like it's a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
It's but like man,
I understand.
it was a Star Fox platformer.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. God, there is a lot to like about Star Fox Adventures. I can't lie.
Yeah, like there's a lot not to like about it, but like it's definitely an experience.
Yes.
Like the R-Wing
Absolutely.
sections were
Ooh. Yeah.
fine, and then like the Andros fight was like bad. But like, dude, like no, dude, the game was good.
No,
That's
it was cool. I really liked seeing I guess like or getting that taste of like Star Fox outside of the R Wing.
hmm
I always used to wonder what that would have been like as a kid, growing up, of course, playing Star Fox 64, a little bit of
yeah.
even Star Fox 1 is like, "Oh wow, cool. What else like what do they look like?" Or even seeing like the ending cutscene of Star Fox 64, and you see the gang go up to General Pepper, and they turn down that reward or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And just seeing them out of the R-Wings, it's like, wow, like you guys are so cool. Or Smash Bros, of course, when it comes to Fox and Falco later, at least.
That ain't
Um,
Falco. I'm sorry.
right?
hmm
But yeah. So to have Star Fox Adventures, and you freaking play as Fox, and you get to run around and whatever, and then of course the lore. I really loved the
The
whole
lore.
freaking, oh, Falco is gone because he and Fox kept like getting into spats, and Peppy's retired, and Slippy's still here, he's still doing his thing, and so on. I really really loved the bit of world building around the team, for
Uh-huh.
sure, when it came to that. Yo, some of those boss fights though, I have this distinct memory of fighting against the I guess it's like a T-Rex, and I like struggled in that fight for like hours, days probably,
hmm
for some reason. Like, oh God, I'm gonna try to go back. But I would love to
Yeah.
see that come back, and see like how that game might be received today.
I it I remember the controls having a really weird learning curve because they
Yes.
literally the tutorial explains them wrong.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
distinctly
actually.
remember that the game just explains the tutorial wrong, and I didn't know how the staff worked at
Yes.
first. And then only later, when someone was like, "No, you just press the button. You don't have to hold anything." I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I press. I was like, "Oh my god, this game has combos."
Right.
What?
Yeah, actually wild.
It was a bad time for everyone involved. It was awful. So it's one of those things. It's kind of like, yeah, like it's definitely like been overlooked, and I think it would make a good addition to the Virtual Console because like a port, like no one's gonna buy a port of it.
Right.
Like I love the game and I would not buy a port of it,
Yes.
but like if it's on Virtual Console, I will absolutely 100% play the heck out of it.
That was our top 5 GameCube games that we would wanna see on the Virtual Console, plus 4 extra. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know down in the comments, what games you would love to see come to the Virtual Console. What are some of your favorite GameCube games? And we'll see you down there.
Absolutely, we will see you down there, and we will see you next time as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe.
Yes.
Please like, comment, subscribe. We have to do the YouTuber
Yeah.
thing, obviously.
Yeah, most definitely.
Bye.
Yep. Bye, everybody.